Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Just some upcoming dates to be mindful of. We have the half day coming up, which is actually this Friday. We do have a flipped schedule. With our half days, we flip the schedule every so often to make up for a previous half day where these particular blocks of classes were missed. So January 20th is technically a day 7 on our schedule. However, it's going to start off and look like a day 3 because earlier in the year we had a day 7 half day where these blocks were missed. So that's why these flipped schedules exist, just to make up for the time these classes that did not have class at the previous half day. I actually sent an email to all of our students earlier this week to remind them of this schedule, and we'll announce it as well during the morning announcements tomorrow, just to remind everybody once again. But it has gone out in writing to our students to inform them of the unique schedule for this upcoming half day. We have a winter concert coming up. As you can see here, the American Music Club a cappella chorus, they'll all be performing. This is actually a new event we're looking forward to. We usually have a winter arts night, and we used to have a spring arts night. Last year, we started a new initiative, if you will, or new program, which was an arts and science night combined last spring. So we are going to continue with that, which will take place in the spring in May of this year. But we do have this winter concert coming up, again, with these performances. All looking forward to that. It's taking place in the lower school cafeteria. All performances will be in the lower school cafeteria. I didn't put the starting time, but it is 6:30 p.m. If you are going to attend, I would probably suggest trying to get here around a little after 6 to find a nice parking spot and whatnot. But just be mindful of, I'm sure more information will be sent out to the community through email, but be mindful that it is in the lower school and it'll be taking place in the cafeteria on the bottom floor. Second quarter of the academic year ends January 25th. That's coming up soon. And our PTO is running the International Festival once again this year. Always a great event with many, a bunch of information on different cultures, different countries. You can visit different tables and talk to the representatives, and also awesome food there. There's always food and other crafts and things like that people bring and share. It's always a success. PTO always does a great job overseeing and operating this event. So we do look forward to that. That is at the Hudson Elks on March 4th. So please keep that in mind. More information will certainly come out through email leading up to that date. Now I'm going to kick it over to Ms. Sensi. She's going to talk about some student life updates.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you, Mike. So some student life updates. I know everyone's been super excited that we have returned to field trips, and so I thought it would be a good idea to just run through some field trips that we have done this year and that have been successful so far. So grade 6 kicked off the fall with heading to Mount Wachusett. It was a great day. The weather was perfect. I attended that trip and it was a lot of fun just to be outside for the day and just watch the students together as we hiked up to the top of Mount Wachusett and had lunch at the top and then hiked on back down. So that was an awesome event. That was led by the grade level advisor, Amanda Morin. And then grade 7, led by Zach Prescott. He took the students to the Worcester Art Museum and Roller Kingdom, also another great event that happened in the fall. And then grade 8 with Darcy Klutman, they headed over to Boundless Adventures. That's over in Berlin. So that's a ropes course, a lot of team building there. So really great lower school field trips. They all will be planning some spring field trips as well. So those haven't begun yet. The planning process will get started on those, and those are kicked off by the grade level advisors. So those students, grade 6, 7, 8, they'll have another opportunity this spring or winter spring to head somewhere else. Grade 9 is working on heading to 99 levels. That's an escape room. Again, another team building sort of activity led off by Paige McKinley and Liz Drangoli. Those are the grade level advisors for grade 9. They are looking to do that sometime in March. So if you have a student that's a freshman, there'll be some information coming out about that shortly. Grade 10 is planning on Six Flags in the spring, I think in June, and that's with Mr. Mark Vital and Blair Clarkson, and so they're working on that for June. Grade 11, they're still working on figuring out their trip. They've sent out a lot of surveys to their students. They've kind of gone back and forth about a few different ideas. So grade 11 is still working on their field trip. That's with Mr. Aaron McAdams and Bethany Seppi. And then last but not least is our grade 12 senior events. There has been a lot of information, if you have seniors out there, information that's gone out recently about the Boston Harbor cruise that we're working on putting together for June 5th. So if your senior is interested in heading to the Boston Harbor cruise event, that's Monday night, June 5th, and that's part of our senior week events. So lots of information there, lots of great trips. We're really excited that we've gotten back to this normal trips and field trips, and really looking forward to the winter and the spring with this.
Miss Lindsay, you are here. I think I saw you.
Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to take a couple minutes to give you a quick building update, and then I will leave the rest to Amanda and Mike. If some of you may be kind of following along with us during the board meetings, and I do give each month a monthly board building update. Oh, thank you for changing my name. You saw that I was listed as Marcy Eckel there. Marcy has actually recently joined this fall into the AMSA community. She's our new director of development as we launch into our capital campaign. We're working diligently on that right now and making some progress. So we're happy about that. It's just a quick building update. The design drawings are really what we're waiting for right now, and they are due from the architects the first week in February. For those of you who have been trying to do any kind of work in your homes, you know that things are really, really expensive now, and we have run into the same type of increases in cost for the building. And so we're really trying to manage that and make sure that we're able to do this in a way that's going to continue to be viable for the school financially. Right now, it's looking good, but we're starting to really get close on our numbers. So we're going to wait till those designs are in, and then they go to the estimators. We'll get some numbers, and those new estimates will go to the board for a vote to continue our work in March. So if you're interested in that information, come to the March board meeting, and we will be taking a vote on moving the project forward at that point. We're also in the permitting phase with the city of Marlborough, and that paperwork is being put together now and will be submitted by the end of the month. And you could see at some point in the spring, there may be some disruption for a couple days. It won't take long, but we do have to have some utilities moved, the electrical and the gas line run underneath the space on campus where the new building will be. And it just kind of nicks the corner of the building. And so it won't take much time, but there may be some electrical and gas lines that will need to be moved this spring. We don't have dates on that because that is all connected to National Grid and to the gas company for the dates and when they'll do that. The other thing we're working on is changing the loop road, and we are hoping to launch that, have that happen this summer, so that when you come back on campus in September, you will be using the new entryway, and I'm going to show you that on the next slide or a couple slides in. Amanda, could you change that for me? Thank you. Okay. So just a reminder, or for if this is new information for anyone, this is a little drawing of the campus, and you can see the placement of the new academic building. And you can see that there will be 30 new temporary parking spaces. Eventually, the hope is that where those temporary parking spaces are, that is someday the gymnasium will sit there. That will fit the 2 basketball court size gymnasium. And at the same time, we would be expanding parking at the front of the school so that the front parking lot would be about the size of the parking lot that's currently at 4 Kicks. And that right now would be the academic building. It's a 2-floor building. Got a couple other slides of those, and the 30 spaces, temporary spaces, and then changing the traffic pattern to a loop around the back of the building. Next one. All right, so this is the first floor of the new academic building. As I mentioned, it's 2 floors. It's already being built with the idea of adding a gymnasium onto it in mind. So you'll see that the restrooms are on that far wall that will be connected to the new gymnasium so that they would be used for both. And on this floor, as you come in, you would there'd be an entryway with some admin, a receptionist there. There'd be a biology lab, 4 classrooms, and a little bit of office space at the very front. On this, it's the right side of the picture of the drawing. And these classrooms are about 750 square feet. Those are the size of the classrooms in the 165 building, if you've been in there. And the labs are about 1,100 square feet, which is much, much bigger than anything that we have on campus right now, except the chemistry lab. If you've ever been in our chemistry lab in the upper school building, that one is a little over 1,100 square feet. But it's very awkwardly shaped, and we lose a lot of space to cabinets. And there's a big kind of a triangle on the very back side that isn't really usable. Next one. This would be the second floor. We've got 2 physics labs here, 2 chemistry labs. There's multiple prep rooms on this floor, and also there's 1 other additional classroom that could be used for anything. We are, let's see, if you take a look in the physics lab, there's also, we put in a special drop space there because the kids have a lot of experiments and things that they do they drop feathers and golf balls and things like that off of in the foyer of the upper school. And the teachers really still needed a place to drop. And so this is actually going to be a designated area with a trap door. So that this, and of course it would all be encased with safety barriers as well, but that the kids will still be able to use that area as a drop area for their experiments. And beautiful big chemistry labs, physics labs. We've never had a physics lab. I would encourage you, if you haven't taken a look at it, if you go onto the capital campaign page on the AMSA website, Christy Jagowski, our science department chair, did a great job. They put a little video together showing what our current conditions in the labs are, and the size of the labs and all that all the wonderful work really they're able to do with the small space that they have. And you'll get an idea of why, oh, Mike Finkel put it in the chat box, an idea of why these are going to feel really large and spacious, and we're so excited about them. Next one. All right, and this is the loop road that I was referring to at the beginning. We're hoping that by the time you drive on campus next August, that this loop road will be done, and that you will no longer enter the campus using the driveway by 4 kicks. You're actually everyone is going to go on campus using the entrance, the new entrance over by the 165 building. And you will go up in through there, and then you're going to proceed by over this loop road that we're calling it, which is we're putting a very, very large retaining wall, opening up that space to be about 3 lanes of traffic. And then everyone will route through behind the upper school building, and then still do some drop off there, and do some drop off for the lower school by the 201 building. One of the goals of this is to get the traffic off of Forest Street. It's a problem. It's always been a problem for us, and it's a problem for the city. And they're also very excited about this plan. So we're hoping that this will be done for all of you. They will eventually be new signage as well, and we think that this is really, we've had a lot of traffic studies done and whatnot, and we really think this is going to be the answer to our traffic problems. Is that the last one? Oh, that is the last one. And if you have any questions about anything at all that has to do with the building, feel free to reach out to me. And let's see, if you know anyone or you work for a company who you think might be interested in investing in AMSA's future and in our students, please reach out to us as well. We're looking for referrals. We're looking for, corporate matches, any connections we can make to help us raise the necessary funds. We are trying to raise $2 million for this part of the project. Eventually, when we need to do the gymnasium, we will continue to be looking for partners who might want to invest in the school as well. And that's all I've got.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Lindsay.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. So other upcoming events that we have going on here, something new is a grade 6 and grade 7 winter dance that is going to be led by the grade level advisors, Miss Morin and Mr. Prescott. So something new that's going to actually be here on campus, I believe in the lower school CAF. And they have just begun the planning process. So this is really hot off the press, if you will, on February 10th from 6 to 8. And is going to be offered to our grade 6 and grade 7 students. We will offer something different for grade 8 near the end of the year as like a celebration, a graduation, if you will, like a graduation dance at the end of the year. Again, something a little bit new for them. So that's what grade 8 has to look forward to. And we figured for this dance, for this winter dance, we would just focus on our lowest grades, grade 6 and 7. So I'm really looking forward to that. We are going to be having another balance day this year. If those of you remember last year, we did work on a balance day. We had it in May last year. This year, we've decided to put balance day in March. We did get a lot of feedback from teachers and students that March is just it's a long month. There's no vacations or breaks. And that's kind of in the slump of the winter, if you will. So people are really feeling they need a little bit of a break. So I'm working with the Challenge Success team. And the Challenge Success team is a group of students and teachers here at AMSA that works with Challenge Success. That's a nonprofit organization that really focuses on bringing more balance, more well-being into the daily lives of students here to relieve some pressures from academic pressures, social pressures, all of those things. So balance day will be a big day here. It's a half day, but what we're in the middle of planning here, we're hoping to have a lot of great workshops for students, potentially an outside speaker to come in to meet with students. We have a lot of different ideas and things going. And as I get closer to that date, as more things are planned out, we will communicate with the community on what that would look like. I just offered up to clubs, maybe if clubs want to offer some workshops, things that are just stress relieving, whether it be a little yoga workshop, a trail walk out in the woods behind us here at AMSA, some arts and crafts, an opportunity to watch a movie, read a book. So that's what that day will look like. And we're really excited to have that and bring that back here to AMSA again. And then lastly, part of that same week, the week of March 13th to March 17th is a Winter Spirit Week. This is new to AMSA. In the past, AMSA's only done either 1 or 2 Spirit Weeks. This is a 3rd Spirit Week we've put in, again, really to kind of buffer that winter slump and give the students another opportunity to have some fun in the middle of March. This will be hosted by the AMSA student government. And it will just be about the dress down days, all the different themes, whether it be tropical day, 80s day, pajama day, whatever they've decided. They have surveyed our student body. So they surveyed the student body, and then they will communicate that out pretty soon, I believe, on what those days will be for March so that everybody can be ready and prepared and have a lot of fun. So that's it, Mr. Naraki, on all of our events. Lots of good things going on.
Yeah, that's great. I think a March winter Spirit Week, or to end the winter off, something in March is great. That is a very challenging month for students and staff. So it'll be a nice way to relieve some stress, and the balance day being tied into that week, I think will be great.
Really looking forward.
So some of the questions that were submitted, we actually I think we only had 2. But they'll be addressed if anyone's out there who submitted those questions. I think that it will be addressed through just some reminders on school policies and procedures and whatnot. Communication protocol for students and parents, guardians. I do want to remind everyone that we do have a very nice system in place that offers students and or parents, guardians to take part in if they would like to have further discussion with their teacher, whether it's about grades or just the classroom, interactions or any, social, emotional concerns or things of that nature. It's a nice document that we do have on our site, and there's a little chart at the end, just a simple flow chart advising students and parents that the best way to approach things that relate to the classroom would be to first communicate with the teacher directly. And then if that discussion or conversation is left with some question marks still at the end, then the next point of contact would be the department chair for that particular subject area. And then if after that discussion, usually things are wrapped up at the teacher level, but if it does get to that level and it doesn't work out with the department chair, then it could go to the principal, which in this case would be me, and we would have a meeting to discuss whatever the concern or issue is, and to try and come up and work together collaboratively to come to a solution to resolve whatever the matter is. That's posted on our site. I think that I'll ask Mr. Finkel. I know that we've done this before, but I do think that we could continue to include this on the Sunday night messages that go out to our families and students. Just the AMSA This Week update that comes out at the end of the weekend. Because it's very important. I do believe that it's a nice process. It works. And, our teachers are responsible, our staff members, not just our teachers, but administrators too. If there's an email that I receive or a teacher receives, or anybody with any position here at the school, we hold ourselves accountable to responding. I believe it says within 48 business hours. I personally try to make that much sooner, but with our teachers, with the many, many students that they have on their caseload, that's why that time frame exists. But if you feel like that's not happening, if you feel like the communication from the AMSA end is not in a responsive or timely or punctual manner, it goes beyond 2 business days, then please feel free to email Ms. Sensi, email me, email the department chair for that particular department that the teacher is involved in or teachers in, and we will take care of it. Please always feel free to do that. Because we developed this. It's not just a one-way system here. It's us working collaboratively together. That's the essence of that entire protocol, is for us to work together effectively and efficiently in a timely manner. So please do keep that in mind. We'll continue to send out reminders. Bullying report forms. We've had a couple, reports and things of that nature. Just stating that sometimes there's situations, and these are from specific individual families, where they will maybe submit a comment saying that they're not sure if the teacher is aware of what's going on in the classroom involving some student interactions and some potential bullying, and more serious interactions, things that have escalated to a certain level. And our advice is, honestly, if you're not sure if the teacher knows or not, please reach out to the teacher. Please reach out to somebody here to report what is happening and give us details. If you do want to submit a bullying report form, if you think it's gotten to a point where it is a case of potential bullying, we have an entire investigation process that we take part in. Our deans of students, Mr. Montesian at the lower school, Mr. Amaral at the upper school, they take the initial lead on those investigations, and it all aligns with the Massachusetts Department of Education bullying report system. We have a bullying prevention and intervention plan that you can view at any time. It's on our website. The bullying report forms go along with that. Bullying report forms are available online. They're available at the front desk of each building. If a student wants to report something, or a parent or guardian comes in to report something, we can provide those forms and print them out for you right there in the office to fill out. or we could do it even electronically and send it over to you. But there is a formal process that takes place when investigating bullying. So if you are out there and your child is coming home, your student is coming home and reporting things to you, telling you some things, you know, whether you think it's bullying or not, please let it be known. The way to resolve those issues is for everyone, for the school to be fully aware and to, like I said, open up that collaborative communication to make sure that we're addressing this in the right way. So again, please just do not hesitate. If something's going on that you're hearing about involving your child, please contact, as the first step, you want to contact the appropriate dean of students. So again, we definitely wanted to follow up on that because it has popped up a few times through this. There was a question that popped up related to this for this family forum, but it also was something that was brought up at the Board of Trustees meeting from our parent representative. So I just wanted to take a little bit more time here to talk about that. Traffic in the morning. Miss Lindsay was just talking about the new projected outlook on our traffic route for school, which is very exciting and great. And now we're in a situation where we can make this happen, and it will alleviate quite a bit and make the mornings much less stressful. Right now, as you all know, I mean, this school has been in existence now for about 18 years. The way that our physical layout of this campus is extremely challenging. We know that traffic in the morning has been a consistent source of stress for some out there, for sure. And we have been consistently monitoring this. We've changed different traffic patterns up and different drop-off routines throughout the years. We actually have something new that will be coming out regarding the upper school drop-off morning routine. We are making a slight adjustment there, which will boost the efficiency of the traffic pattern in the morning even more so, and hopefully will relieve some of the backup that we've been experiencing this year. So more information will come out to the 8th through 12th grade families who have drop off behind the upper school. Basically, it's a way to minimize the stacking up of high volume of cars and to allow students out of their cars to walk to the building earlier and have more cars unload at the same time. Rather than just 2 or 3 cars, we're looking to have around 10 to 12 cars unload at once. And that will get more cars out of the way for the upper school parking lot, which will have an impact on the rest of the campus as well. Little by little, we're trying to do things we have to balance the safety aspect along with the practical logistical aspect. So that's just one measure that we are taking. More information will be coming out very soon on that, and we will have signage out in the back of the upper school parking lot to show cars where the unloading or drop-off zone starts. So again, please stay tuned for more information. We know it's a challenge. It's not an ideal layout, and I'm very happy that there's some potential future changes coming up, which will relieve quite a bit. And one question popped up about parent-teacher conferences. We do not have parent-teacher conferences at AMSA in a controlled, formal sense. But that question did pop up. I'm guessing it was probably from a newer family, potentially a lower middle school student, because this question does pop up each year around orientation time and things like that. We do not run a formalized parent-teacher conference set of nights here at the school. We do have the back-to-school nights for families at the beginning of the school year, which provides everyone an opportunity to run through their child's schedule. But again, going back to the communication protocol, going back to communicating with teachers directly, you can always reach out to our teachers. If you have any questions, if you would like to meet with a teacher in person, set up a time to meet, you can always reach out to our teachers and ask for that. And again, they'll respond to you. If there are multiple teachers you'd like to meet with, you feel like there's any sort of issue or concern, or you just want to check in with multiple teachers about something, I would encourage you to reach out to your child's school counselor to maybe help with organizing that. If there's, any sort of, like I said, concern or circumstance where you want to have multiple people in the room to check in on your students' academic progress or social emotional behavioral progress and things of that nature. Again, reach out. Just because we don't have formal nights doesn't mean that you cannot meet with people in person. And, to that point, if you ever want to meet, with any administrator or non-teaching staff at the school, always feel free to send an email and just ask to set up an appointment to meet. And then, if it comes to a point where it has to be an in-person meeting, then please request it. Or you can always just request a phone call, whatever works best for you. But, the open lines of communication are there. And again, just please do not hesitate. Reach out to folks if you'd like to meet with them or talk to them over the phone and have more of an in-depth discussion rather than just emailing back and forth. So just wanted you all to be mindful of, kind of the way that we would like to operate here. And like I said, it's a two-way street. We should be communicating effectively on our end and in a timely manner. And if you feel like there's any breakdowns in that, then please, you can let me know, email me directly if you're dealing with any issues, or the department chair or any other administrator. And was that the last slide?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
So I guess
so that was it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have. We can open it up to any questions people have now, or if anyone wants to drop a question in the chat, feel free.
Yeah, what I like to do for these, because I've been running the prospective parent informational nights, is we can stay on. If anyone wants to submit questions, we can stay here for another. It's 10:38 right now. Or 10:39. We can end this at 10:45 if there are any questions that pop up. So we can hang out here. I don't see anything being submitted to the chat right now. If anybody wants to chime in verbally and unmute, feel free.
Hi, I'm not via Zoom, but I'm on the phone. Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
Okay. So I was just curious, based on the strategic plans that AMSA has been working on, are there any diversity initiatives that have been integrated into that plan? And what are some of those initiatives?
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat this? I know you're on your phone. You said the strategic plan.
Yeah, so my question is, based on AMSA's strategic plan that is being worked on you do that through a lot of your board meetings.
Yeah.
My question is, how is diversity integrated into AMSA's strategic plan? And if so, what are some of those initiatives that AMSA will be working on this year for 2023?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as far as we hire to address that area and to focus on it. There's been a couple different things that have taken place over the last few years. First off, our curriculum-wise, especially our humanities department chairs and the teachers in the history and English departments have really they conducted a very thorough review of their curriculum and their offerings, and looked at the overall components of their program and made adjustments to include more diversity. Authors from different backgrounds and ethnicities and things of that nature. So that they are focusing on that from a curriculum sense. History has developed many new courses and offerings through electives, and they also overall, I think, across the board, just being mindful of the way that we present material and have our material be just more inclusive and culturally aware overall. So I will say, if you wanted to get more information, our department chairs, Brianna Murphy for history, could definitely discuss with you some more of the ins and outs on how the history department is approaching this in their everyday classes, and also our English department, which is chaired by Marty Richardson. In addition to that, we did hire a DEI coordinator internally. His name is Peter Prue. He's a history teacher here, and he's developed He's new in this role this school year, but we've done things like that. He developed a committee, or he started a committee which reviewed our student parent handbook, and they looked through that from a DEI lens, if you will, and made adjustments and recommendations last school year leading into this current student parent handbook, and they'll continue to do that each year. And we're in communication with Mr. Prue whenever if any situation pops up where we feel like we need to address something to be, more culturally inclusive and things of that nature, or things that we already do here that we don't have in writing. So we will conduct. So from a policy point of view, we're looking at it through that lens. Like I mentioned, the curriculum point of view. And then Mr. Prue actually started a committee recently. He reached out to all students and to staff members to I forget what it's called, Ms. Sensi. I think it's the beautification committee, beautification committee, which their main focus is to maybe with our school right now, the way our buildings look when you walk around. I mean, these are converted office buildings. There's not much artwork and things of that nature. What he is looking to do, along with his team of staff members and students, is to add some artwork and areas for students to relax, and just artwork on the walls and things that call attention to the diversity that we have that exists here at AMSA, and things like that. So, cultural drawings and artwork and things of that nature in the hallways, even in the bathrooms. They're talking about maybe having some murals done in the bathrooms and things of that nature. But, to make the campus, visually feel, open, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Promote, foster, and just show our diversity here on campus. So,
Mike, if I can just jump in, just because I know you're mentioning a lot of that work, and Mike Finkel put in the chat, and I know this parent that's on their phone, I don't know if you can see the chat, but we do have a whole website now, webpage called the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And so it's in the chat right now. It does broadcast and show off the student groups that we have that are in alignment with DEI, the Black Student Union, the Asian Student Union, and Kaleidoscope, which is a GSA club. And then some of the initiatives that Peter Prue is running. The two that he's running is a connections conference that himself, some staff and students are going to be attending on March 17th, visiting Sutton High School for a conference for that day, to really get more ideas on how to bring more DEI here to AMSA. And then the one that Mike was just speaking about, the Building Beautification Committee, and really just making our space like more collaborative, more inclusive, more welcoming, and really showcasing, broadcasting, all different shape sizes, and really just bringing, more diversity into our buildings. As Mike was saying, we're really just office buildings converted. So that's a big project that we're really looking forward to, and making this school really feel more like a school. But that website, it's great.
Yeah, and hopefully, so check out our website. I know the question came in from the phone. It looks like you're still here. So hopefully, that answered some of your question. Is there anything else that you're looking for? I know I was kind of rambling on a bit, but we're kind of looking at, I just wanted to make it clear that there's multiple angles to it, if you will. Was there anything else that you needed? If you're still out there, I don't know if you're still out there or not.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. I'm all set. I'll send you a follow-up email, because there's still some areas of clarity how you all bring it together, because I did look at the website before I posed the questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to email me, and then you can include Mr. Peter Prue on there. If you could find his email on our site, he would be a great resource for you to talk directly about what he and his his committee are working on. So please feel free to reach out. Thank you all for coming out today. And if there's anything that you didn't want to submit through the chat, or you didn't want to verbalize, feel free to email me or Ms. Sensi. or whoever it may be, whenever you would like. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you, everybody.